Are you serious? Are you serious? Welcome, everybody. I tell you what, thank you for coming to another exciting broadcast today on the coming apocalypse. And we've got a couple things going on here. Number one, we've got, of course, this earthquake that just hit in San Diego. Now, they said it was a 7.0 on the U.S. Geological Survey, but then they downsized it to 6.7, and now they've officially said it's a 5.2. Okay. It shook everything, though. People are saying it literally shook everything, and folks were panicking because this was a powerful quake. And I just looked at the U.S. Geological Survey, and there has been, it's in Julian, California is the epicenter. And there's been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 aftershocks, all of them around 2.7 to 3.5. So pretty good aftershock. So that means everything is shaking and quaking. It's even shaking the gold loose. There's gold in them hills in California. Matter of fact, joining us right now is Josh Ward from Noble Gold Investment. Josh, how you doing?
Oh, I'm doing great, Pastor Paul. It's great to be on with you.
It's great to be on. Good to see you. And you were driving. You just said before we came on live. Did you feel anything? Or
yeah, I didn't feel anything, but it makes sense for what's going on in the markets, right? We're having earthquakes in the markets, and it's only fair to have it in reality here too, where we are. So it's not surprising over here.
It is, and I've always said whatever's going on in the spiritual world manifests in the physical.
Yes.
Well, it looks like now it's even manifesting in the financial. Okay. We are in an earthquake situation. The stock market's been crazy, but gold has been rising. I mean, it has been on a run. And partly is that because of the inconsistencies of the market?
Yeah, that's exactly right. I mean, it's really has to do with the dollar more than anything. So a week ago, the dollar index was about 104, and today we're sitting at 99. So a 5% decline in the U.S. dollar in a week is warning signals flashing to the entire economy.
It really is. And folks, just to give you an idea of what we're dealing with here, I mean, the market's up right now 474 points, okay? But gold started this year at $2,650 an ounce. That was an all-time high. And it peaked just the other day at 3,200. I don't know what it is right now. It's over 3,000.
Yeah, it was 3,250 was the all-time high last week, and now we're right at 3,200.
Yeah, so it's what a rise just this year. But
that's correct. No, yeah, I mean, and in the last year and a couple months, it's gone up about $1,000, $1,200 an ounce, right? And what's been going on in the last year, right? There's a lot that's going on, which is the big reason why we're seeing, the prices of gold and silver take off here right now.
And this was predicted, okay? As a matter of fact, Colin's new book, Silver is the New Oil.
That's correct.
Okay? But as you guys have been saying over at Noble Gold, you've been telling this even before we've seen this, the tariff thing and everything, and the reaction of the market. You guys told us that gold was going to start to rise. I remember Colin saying to me when gold was $1,800 an ounce, he said, Paul, we're going to hit 2,500 within about 18 months. Exactly what happened. And then he said, and then we're going to 3,000. And then he said this to me, we're going to 5,000 an ounce. Yeah. Josh, is he serious here?
Absolutely. Yeah. And I think in a couple years, right, people were saying $2,000 is the floor for gold. I think we're going to see $5,000, $10,000 gold here in the short future.
10,000. Whoa. So in other words, don't be afraid to put part of your 401k. I mean, I hear this all the time from folks. Can they roll that 401k into gold or silver or precious metals?
Great question. Yeah. So you absolutely can. So a lot of people don't realize that you're not stuck in the stock market, right? You don't have to ride out these waves of up and down and tariffs and all of that, right? You can park your money in gold and silver for the duration and not have to worry about that. I mean, that's what we specialize in here, right?
And you make it easy too.
Yeah, absolutely we do.
You make it easy for the customer. If people call and they say, look, I want to do this. And do they have to roll the whole 401k in a precious metal like gold or silver, or
No, you could take a position, you could take a percentage of your account and protect it with gold and silver. It's not all or nothing. That's a great question.
So let's say if a person is ready to retire, they've got a 401k, they might want to put 25% of it in gold or silver, or,
Sure.
and then the rest could be rolled over into cash and even into the market if they.
That's exactly right.
So,
and I get the question a lot here. How much should I do? What percentage should I do? That's one of the most common questions I get, and I always have the same response. It's you need to ask yourself, how much money do you want to leave in the market, exposed in the dollar, right? Not how much do you want to protect with gold and silver.
So you have to ask yourself that, how to diversify, where to put some of it. The one thing I like about gold, and letting Noble Gold help you in that, folks, is you don't have to worry. They don't stick it in a hedge fund somewhere and then you hope the guy picked the right one.
No.
Gold is gold. It's a biblical currency. Okay. It's been around for 5,000 years. It's not going anywhere. And it's been consistently on the rise. So it's not like, it's the one constant, I think, of all the, even Bitcoin, crazy. Even real estate assets will move around. Gold, even though it does a little, it has a consistent growth, doesn't it?
It's steady Eddie. I mean, 100 years ago, an ounce of gold was pegged at $20 an ounce, right? So from 1776 to 1933, an ounce of gold didn't go up or down. It was pegged at $20 an ounce. It was fixed.
Yeah. So after what'd you say, 33?
Yeah, 1933, we let the dollar float, and the price of gold, within a year went to $35, and 100 years later, or 95 years later, we're looking at 100x here, right?
Yeah.
And it's not the value of gold going up, right? It's the value of the dollar going down. People need to realize that. It's not all of a sudden gold's, more rare or harder to find or anything like that. It's a true correlation with the value of the dollar going down. And people can see it with inflation. People can see it when they go to the supermarket, with interest rates. I mean, there's a lot of different ways that it shows its face.
So if there's a weaker dollar, gold is stronger.
That's correct. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's when gold and silver shine, right? When the dollar is rising, right, priced in US dollars, gold and silver tend to go down. Okay. Yeah. Other currencies is different, but when the dollar rate goes up in value, metals seem to be pretty weak, right? And when the dollar goes down in value, metals really take off and are extremely strong, like we're seeing now.
And folks, if you think about it, if you look at the policies, now I know President Trump is trying to do this, what he calls the big, beautiful deal, the big, beautiful bill, I think he calls it. He is wanting to do some tax incentives that would be some tax cuts. It would help the American people. Yes. That's good. It puts money in people's pocket, but I don't know if that corrects the value of a dollar. Maybe it does. Your take on that, Josh?
Yeah, I don't think that's going to affect positively the value of the dollar, to be honest. I mean, it almost seems like it's too far gone with what we have now. And now the tariffs are trying to help our debt. And I think it's kind of a last-ditch play, to be honest here. I mean, we have to reduce government spending. We have to reduce future obligations. I mean, it's not something where you're going to get your tips back and not tax is going to save the economy, right? I mean, we're deeper than that, I think.
And you think about this a minute now, guys. If you qualify with a gold IRA, silver IRA, or get involved with some purchasing of gold, if you qualify, Noble Gold will give you. I don't have it in my hand. I got to pry it out of their hands right now. But there it is, 1/10 of an ounce, the gold American Eagle coin.
That's correct.
You guys will give this to people for free. That's 1/10 of an ounce. That's got to be a $300 value on that at least.
Keep going, yeah, closer to $450.
Really? Because
yeah.
Wow.
The 1/10 of an ounce gold coins carry a little bit higher of a premium than like the 1 ounce gold coins, right? So it's not like, people think that you can buy 10 1/10 of an ounce coins and it's the same price as a 1 ounce coin. And that's just not the case, right? There's more manufacturing costs.
I see. And more value in it. So, and you guys give this as a gift to people.
That's correct. Yeah. We ship it to your door, right? It's not part of the IRA. It's not going to the depository. These are shipped via FedEx directly to your door once we place your trade as a thank you from Noble. And it's a nice incentive here.
It really is. Now, what if people want to what if people don't want to roll over a 401k? They just sold their house, or they sold some property, or they just got their inheritance or some kind of settlement. They got some money. They got to do something with it. What if they just want to buy gold or silver coins or bar? Like you got a, what is that? Is that a,
Yeah, we got a little guy right here.
a 32 ounce? Oh, wait a minute, 32 pounds. I mean, yeah, but what if they wanted to buy some gold coins or silver coins? How does that work? Do they just
Sure. You just give us a call, right? You give Noble Gold a call. You talk to one of our great representatives. You'll go over all the different options you have: coins, bars, gold, silver, and you will tailor a package specifically for each person, right? It's not a one size fits all, where it's a blanket basket of goods that you get, right? So the representative that you work with will educate you. We'll go over all your different options, the prices for each, and you'll be able to tailor a package specifically for you. And those metals are not shipped to a depository. I don't hold on to them here at Noble Gold. I FedEx them directly to your home, fully insured with signature confirmation.
Wow.
In a nondescript package, right? It's not going to say Noble Gold on it or anything like that, right? It wouldn't get there if that was the case. So,
so you send it, so you ship it right to the customer. You guys would get your physical gold. You can put it in your safe or put it away somewhere where you know where it's at. And it's yours.
It's yours. Yeah, you have possession of it, right? He or she who has all the gold makes all the rules, right? So you can use it to barter with, you can use it to trade with. I mean, I personally use metals all the time for bartering. So like recently, I just paid my CPA to do my taxes in gold. My handyman, my barber, my heating and HVAC guy, my CPA. I mean, the family lawyer, everybody I pay in gold and silver that I can, right? I give them that option. Would you like fiat money or would you like real money?
Well, obviously, and the dollar used to be on a gold standard. I think in 73 or 2, somewhere in there, we went off the gold standard. I think that was a mistake.
It was a huge mistake. Yeah. 33, we technically got off the gold standard, and then 71 officially with Bretton Woods. And it's, the price of gold was, less than $100, give or take $100, $200. And now it's at 3,000, right? I mean, it's unbelievable. And I'm not an old guy, but I remember when $20 I used to go to the movies, get popcorn, get a soda, and be able to get a drink afterwards, right? Now you can't go to the movies for $20 just to get a ticket.
No,
I mean, I live in Dallas. I can't go on a date for under $200, Pastor Paul. I mean, it's rough.
I mean, you can't even get the popcorn. I mean, it costs more than a ticket.
No,
it's like, okay.
You want to humble yourself, go to a movie theater, right?
Yeah. And take grandkids. And then they want the popcorn, they want the pop, they want the little candy things, they want they want the little sour things. And it's crazy. I mean, you just absolutely, you got to have gold. You got to have that gold bar that you have. So, the central bank, let's talk a little bit about the central banks, because that is a big discussion. Central banking or central digital banking currency has been talked about. What is your thoughts on that? I mean, and does that affect the metals at all?
Sure. I think Bitcoin over the last 10 years has taken a lot of money that would have flowed into gold and silver into cryptocurrencies, which has really kept the price of metals down more so than they should have been, right? I personally believe that if Bitcoin never existed, gold would be at $5,000 or $10,000 by now, because all the people that were buying Bitcoin would have bought gold and silver. Yeah. So I think it's taken money away from gold and silver, but I think that money is going to come back into gold and silver when we see cryptos fall back down, even more so than they are now, and we see gold and silver really take off.
Let's talk about silver. The book is titled "Silver is the New Oil."
Yes.
I mean, obviously what you're saying is silver is going to become a necessary commodity. Is that right?
That's exactly right. Yeah. I mean, silver's in the future economy. I mean, it's used in every AI chip, every solar panel, every electric vehicle, the solid state batteries. I mean, we need silver to manufacture. It's extremely important, and there are no substitutes. So
Oh yeah. So there's no other metal they can go to. They can't go to titanium or some other.
No. Silver, gold, platinum, all of these precious metals have very specific attributes that are used in industrial and investment purposes.
Solar panels, like you said, electric cars, batteries of every kind, computers, cell phone,
mirrors. I mean, so silver is in almost everything that you touch.
So if it becomes that necessary, is there enough of it to keep up with this demand? Are you anticipating because of the demand, a rise in the price?
Absolutely, right? So with silver at $32, probably not, right? With silver at $200-$300, I think there's more than enough to go around. I think that's what we have to see here.
I see. Do you think it's going there?
Absolutely, I do. Absolutely, there's no doubt in my mind. I mean, the fact that we have gold at $3,200 and silver's, been stagnating at 32-ish is unreal here. So, just to give our listeners a kind of some perspective here. So, when gold hit 2000 in 2011, silver hit $50. Okay.
Yeah, I remember that.
And now we've seen gold go up over 50% from there, and silver still at the same price.
Yeah.
Right. Gold's over 3,000, and we got silver a little over $32 today.
Yeah.
So, just speaking historically, silver should be right now, I believe, between $50 and $75, and it's trading at about half that.
So you believe that it's going to make its run?
Absolutely. I mean, silver is one of the most undervalued assets that you can buy right now historically. Okay. When you look at real estate, when you look at stocks, when you look at almost any other asset, it's trading at all-time highs right now, while silver is still trading at a 40% discount to its all-time high.
Wow.
While gold is hit 20 all-time highs this year already. Right. So gold had the best quarter it's had, the Q1 of 2025, in over 40 years.
Yeah. And it's still going up. Folks.
And it's still ripping. Yeah. No, it's not going down. I mean, it's you look at central banks are the biggest buyers, right? Why are central banks who create fiat money and give it to their citizens hoarding gold, buying gold by the hundreds of tons, thousands of tons? Why is that? They're not dumb.
No.
Right? They see the writing on the wall, and they know exactly what's going to happen. They know how this turns out, right? Every fiat currency that has ever existed from the beginning of time has gone to zero. Nothing. Goose egg.
Yeah, you are right. There's no fiat money that's ever survived. But gold, as I said earlier, guys, has been around. It's a biblical currency. I mean, they were trading this with the Romans were 2,000 years ago. I mean, this is a currency that's been going on forever. And folks, let me just say, I know a lot of you who live in California. This is Josh Ward. It's with us from Noble Gold. He's in California. He didn't feel the quake because he was driving. Yeah. But I understand folks in the chat room are saying, man, it really shook your homes. Your doors are swinging. You're still feeling it. It's still rocking. If you're in the San Diego area, it hit in Julian, the epicenter of Julian, California. And let me just say, it is on a fault line. It's not on the San Andrea fault line, but it's on what's called the what's the name of that fault line? Give me 1 second. It was the Emeralds. Or that's not Emeralds. It's not that. Oh, I just can't remember. It just slipped my mind. But the fault line runs directly into San Andrea. Okay, so it's a branch off of San Andrea. Good news that it didn't hit San Andrea, but it makes you concerned a little bit that is that fault line, the shaking that's going on there. Is there a bigger one coming, or is this maybe a good release, a little bit of a pressure release? We're hoping that that's the case, folks. So stay tuned here. We'll be continuing to talk about that. But meanwhile, I was just asking Josh, is this a manifestation of the earthquake with the price of gold? I mean, metals are absolutely critical right now. And folks, you could call, you could pick up the phone right now and call Noble Gold at 877-646-5347. Tell them you were watching Pastor Paul and Josh on the air, and that you are wanting to buy some of the gold, or you're wanting to transfer some savings. Would you do that, Josh? Would you transfer a percentage of your savings to gold?
Absolutely. I mean, think about it like this, right? If you keep your money in the bank and it's in a checking or savings account, you're earning less than 1% interest, right? The only way to earn the 4% interest that, the big 4% interest that they're paying now is to have it in a brokerage account and a money market account.
Right.
So if you just have your money at the bank, you're earning nothing, right? And do you want to sit there having your money not doing anything for you? Well, last year gold was up 29%. Last year silver was up 29%. I mean, do you want to sit on the sideline? How much longer can you sit on the sidelines is what I want to know.
And what you're saying is that you don't anticipate a fall. You're not seeing gold or silver going to like take a 20% decrease in value.
No, I think the only way we could see that is if we see a surge in the dollar. Okay.
Well, I don't see that happening.
And I don't see, that's exactly right. I don't see that happening. So in fact, I probably see the dollar getting even softer.
Right. We're $36 trillion in debt as a country, which is weakening the dollar, not weakening the precious metals. It's weakening the dollar.
That's correct.
And Doge is uncovering the waste, fraud, and abuse, which in turn makes the dollar even weaker.
That's correct. That's correct.
Because gold is not a U.S. currency. It is a biblical, or it is a global currency. Gold is not controlled by the U.S. It's controlled by a global need. And you're saying that the nations of the world are buying gold as fast as they can. I know Russia is, and I know China is. I think everybody just about is.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, anybody that sees the writing on the wall and that wants to protect their country is buying gold and silver hand over fist. Okay. We're seeing more buying from institutional buyers than we are retail buyers right now. Right. The sad thing is a lot of the retail, middle of America, Mrs. Middle America, a lot of them are selling their gold and silver right now. Right. That's how bad the economy is.
Right.
I mean, I talk to gold and silver shops all over the country, and a lot of people are turning in their metals because they don't have any money. They need the money. They need to sell the gold and silver to get cash to pay rent or to pay a hospital bill or to put food on the table for their kids. Right. I mean, that's what we're seeing all over the country. And the big banks are buying gold faster than they ever have.
Oh, that's true. I know that's true. Also the geopolitical issues. Okay. War with Russia and Ukraine and the wars that are raging in the Middle East and the China threatening Taiwan every day. I mean, does this unrest geopolitically, does that also affect the price of gold and silver?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, that's why the price of gold's at record highs right now, is because of everything that's going on. Right. I mean, the price of gold is one of the best correlations to how the economy is doing, what the Fed is doing. Right. I remember Alan Greenspan used to talk about when the price of gold was $300, he knew that he was too loose. And when the price of gold hit $400, he knew that he was too tight. Right. So he was the Federal Reserve manager. So
right.
He used gold as a correlation to see how his actions were affecting the economy. Right. I think if anybody asked Powell that question, he wouldn't even know what the price of gold is. I mean, that's how out of touch these guys are.
Wow. Yeah. And you're exactly right. And so the interest rates, which are too high, which are hurting people's ability to buy homes.
Sure.
The
economy's at a standstill because of it, right? I mean, it's interest rates for homes were 2 or 3%, 3, 4, 5 years ago. Now they're 7%, right? So your mortgage is going to be double today than it was a couple of years ago for the same value house, just in interest. Right? You're paying twice as much interest as you were 3 or 4 years ago. So the people who already bought and have those locked in interest rates aren't going to move, right? They're not going anywhere. They're staying there, whether they like it or not.
That's right. They don't want it because they don't want to go from 3 point.
No, they can't afford it. I mean, how many people out there can have their mortgage double and afford it, right? And not think about it?
No, none of us. So not very few of us, I'll say that. Well, folks, at the earthquake that hit in California, I've seen BP Earthwatch in there. I'm sure he's going to analyze this. It is the Elsinore fault line, the Elsinore, that connects with the San Andreas fault line. I'm not the expert on that. We're going to let BP analyze that and some of the others. But I do find it very interesting that they first said it was 7.0. I've never seen this before. 7.0 downsized to 5.2. I'm glad, but I've never seen that. That's very interesting how it could be that bad off. Or was it? We'll continue to watch that. But I'll tell you one thing that's Good. Is there gold in Fort Knox? I just got to ask the question, Josh. Is there any gold? Do we have the gold still in Fort Knox?
What do you want to hear, Pastor Paul? Right? I mean, it's personally, I don't think so. Right? I think the gold that was put into Fort Knox, governments over the years, I think have probably lent it out, borrowed against it. The government itself, right? There's a reason why it's never been audited, and they're not open to being audited, right? It's anything that's done in dark, that's done in secret, that anytime you shine the light on it, you really see the truth of it, right? So if the government wants to keep it in the dark, it's for a very specific reason, I think.
Yeah. When you're
nefarious.
When you're $36 trillion in debt, you borrow money from somebody. Somebody needs some collateral. I mean, and so part of the gold in Fort Knox, or maybe all of it, is gone. And here's a question: if they were to reveal that there is no gold in Fort Knox, what's that do to the price of gold, and what's that do to the economy?
I think the price of gold will shoot up overnight, and I think it will crash the economy overnight, right? I mean, all of that gold in Fort Knox is our gold. It's my gold. Right. It's your gold, right? It's not the government's gold.
Right.
It was back in 1933, the $20 gold pieces there was an executive order to turn in your gold, and it was illegal to own gold for about 30 years. Okay. And all of those coins that everybody turned in, and a lot of patriots didn't, right? I mean, we sell a lot of the pre-1933 gold coins here at Noble Gold, and you can only buy those because of the patriots 100 years ago didn't turn them into the government. And those coins were melted down into 90% bars and put into Fort Knox.
Yeah.
Right? So, and the price of gold was at $20, and the government gave you $20.35 to turn in your gold, right? And now look at it. I mean, it's unbelievable what has transpired with gold and silver and the governments all over the world, right? It's not just in the US, it's all over the world.
Yeah, and they're buying the gold up as fast as they can, folks, because they know the inevitable is coming, and that is that the fiat money that we've been operating with is useless and eventually will become completely no value. So then they're going to turn to assets that have value, and gold and the precious metals of gold and silver are going to have the value more than even probably the land and properties, because properties are going to be underwater with debt. I mean, most people have a mortgage, right?
Exactly. Or what if you can't? All these commercial buildings. What if you can't afford the rent? I mean, how these buildings are their values based off the rent that they pull in every month or every year, right? So, I mean, look at the value of everything is gonna collapse. It looks like. I mean, we've had such a crazy run here with the stock market, with real estate. I mean, really, the last 10 years, everything's gone up straight up 200 to 400%, no matter what you look at, right?
Yeah.
So you can't have a short period of time where there's such a big boom without there a bust, right? Yeah. And we're starting to see a little taste of that. I mean, I woke up last week and there was almost every stock was down 10 to 15%. Apple, Amazon, AMD, all of these big, huge name stocks that everybody has in their portfolio were down 10, 15% in one day.
Yeah.
In one day. Right?
So
it takes a long time to go up, and it's real quick to come down.
So if you had all your money in an IRA or in a 401k, and it was all in the market, you lost probably 10 to 15, maybe 12%, let's say, of your total value overnight.
Overnight. Gone.
If that money had been rolled over into precious metals, you would not be no loss. You would be up. You would be up in the last year. You'd be up 26% or 28%. And this year alone, I don't even know what that is. I mean, it's been
it's up another about 30%. I mean,
gold's
gone up 30% while the market's down conservatively 10 to 20%. Right. So there's been just this first quarter of 2025, there's been almost a 50% swing between precious metals and the stock market, between gold and the S&P. Right.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a huge, huge number. While the S&P is falling, gold is surging, hitting new all-time highs.
Yeah.
Right. And this should all of your listeners, this should be like a bell that's ringing, that's going off. Like, this is time. This is it here. Right. I mean, we were talking about earlier, I got calls when gold was 2,000. I thought it was too much. Right now I'm getting calls. It's at 3,000. It's too much. Right. I'm going to talk to these same people when gold's at 10,000 and they still think it's too much.
Right.
And they haven't taken a position yet. Right.
Yeah. So you use that great term, take a position. You're saying that people should, there's a certain, at least, I don't know if it's 15%, I am 25%. if whatever you think is comfortable, folks, but a percentage of your portfolio or of your finances, your savings, your retirement needs to be in precious metals. I don't know what that percentage is for you. Maybe it's 15%. You feel more comfortable about that number. Some 25, some people it's 50%. I mean, some people it's 100%, but I mean, you put your money where you think has the greatest value and potential of growth, and ask yourself what that is.
That's exactly right. Yeah, that's you need to ask yourself, hey, am I going to feel comfortable in the Dow or the S&P or the stock market during trade wars, during inflation, during all of these problems going on? Or am I going to feel a lot better in physical gold and silver, something that's had a track record for the last 5,000 years, that historically performs very well in times of uncertainty, which I think I personally think, Pastor Paul, that we're 6 to 8 months into a recession. Okay.
Yeah.
Everybody I talk to is down and out, is struggling. Everybody's talking about inflation and how the cost of everything just to survive is going up and up. I mean, I go to the supermarket, it's $200 for the week, right? And I'm a single guy, and it's $200 for me to buy groceries for the week. I don't ever remember them being that much, right? I mean, I got 2 little bags, it's $200.
Yeah, and then you stop at the gas station and you fill up your SUV if you have one or whatever, your car.
And it's $100 to fill up.
$100.
Yep.
Okay. So, I mean, it's just eating away at, and then you still got to pay the mortgage. You still got to keep the lights on.
The taxes are going up, right? I mean, if you live in a state like California or New York, you're paying 40 to 55% of your income to the IRS every year.
Yeah. So I don't even know. So in California, it's a beautiful state, beautiful people, but man, it is way overtaxed. The people need relief, and the folks in New York and the people in Illinois, those 3 states for sure are way overtaxed, and it's just not right. I pray that'll get turned around. I know Trump's working hard from a federal standpoint, but I mean, states have to run themselves. So hang in there.
And it's all about leadership, right? You look at the leadership of those states, and it's not good, right?
It's suspect. I'll just say that. I'm saying that nice, very gently. I'll tell you what, things are shaking in California. The earthquake hit today. We thank God. Hopefully there's no damage, no structural damage. But boy, people really felt it. It's still shaking. Still shaking. And maybe it's shaking all the gold out of them hills, because I know you guys are holding on to it over there in California in those hills.
Oh, yeah.
And, so, folks, go right now. This is Josh Ward with us. Go right there, click on the link below the video, pastorpaulgold.com. Just click on it, www.pastorpaulgold.com, or pick up the phone and call Josh or one of his associates there at 877-646-5347. That's 877-646-5347. Call Josh Ward or one of his associates. The phone's ringing, Josh. The phone's ringing.
We're here. Water's warm.
All right, so let's do it now while we can. Josh, thank you for coming on, being with me today. It was a pleasure to have you back on. Like I said, it's been about 7 or 8 years, so let's not wait that long.
Yeah, let's not wait that long again.
Gold would be at 10,000 if you wait that long.
Well, last time we spoke, gold was about $1,200, right?
Okay, so there you go. All right. God bless you. Appreciate you coming on.
God bless you, Pastor Paul.
And folks, God bless all of you. Don't forget, you can find out more about your retirement funds or your savings accounts or your investments at Noble Gold Investment. Just go to pastorpaulgold.com. You'll be very, very, very glad that you did. And I'll be back with more information on current world events and how they relate, of course, to biblical prophecy. And we're praying for California that this doesn't shake anymore. Okay. I'm praying for you. But as you guys know, last week I did a video on this very thing. California earthquake, the big one, the pressure was building on all these. I did it last week, and then here it is. Thank God it's not a catastrophe. God bless all of you. Are you serious?